This is Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio. SoCal Sports Talk. Here's Scott Kaplan, Alex Padilla, and John Browner.
Hey, great friends. What's up? Monday afternoon, Kaplan and Crew with Grande and the Brown Man. We come to you from the 7 Mile Casino Studios, 7milecasino.com. To all of our 1090 radio listeners, we are happy you are here on a Monday after what was a really great weekend. Beautiful weather. Thank goodness the rain is gone. Football on Saturday and Sunday, which was great, and plenty to get to, obviously, from the weekend of the NFL Divisional Round playoffs. We'll get to all of it coming up. And to all of our YouTubers, chatlins, I know you're just getting on. Okay, just picking up steam. I know there's the early crowd. We all get in. What's going on? Shout out, the whole deal. So happy to have all the YouTubers with us today. YouTubers, make sure you give a like. Make sure you're a subscriber. You know what to do. To all of our podcast listeners. Now, you guys may not be listening today on Monday, January 23rd. You may be listening later on down the line. I know that because I get a lot of tweets from you guys days after the fact going, hey, I didn't know you went to school here with this guy. I'm like, yeah, we talked about that like 5 days ago. So to all of our audio podcasters listening on their own time, we're glad you guys are here whenever you're choosing to listen. And tonight, television, Channel 4 San Diego is our home base, Channel 4 in Santa Barbara. And, you can get us on Channel 118 in Orange County and in LA if you've got Cox or Spectrum Cable. So now we're all hooked up, right? We all know how to communicate. Radio, TV, YouTube, audio podcast, every social media platform. We're pretty easy to find. So Grande and Brown Man, fellas, just opening thoughts on the weekend. What did you think? I will say I was disappointed going into the final game. This hasn't really been particularly exciting. I mean, Kansas City and Jacksonville, the first game, no one expects Patrick Mahomes to get hurt. And then there's the controversial catch fumble. Wasn't it later in the game? Philadelphia, total annihilation of the Giants. Cincinnati, which became a popular pick last week, total devastation on the road at Buffalo. There went the whole Damar Hamlin scoring a touchdown in the Super Bowl story for me. And then thankfully it all came down to last night, Dallas and San Francisco. And while early this morning I watched all the sports morning shows, everybody just beat up on Dak Prescott. And understandable. I mean, the quarterback takes the blame, quarterback gets the credit. But at least the game was exciting till the end. I mean, none of the other games were really all that great. But now we're down to the Final Four, AFC and NFC championship games coming up this weekend. And then we'll start getting ready for the Super Bowl. Grande, Brown Man, what'd you guys think?
No surprises for me. I know we had a tiny text exchange yesterday, and I prefaced my Cowboys prediction by saying I don't believe anything I'm about to say, but I don't think literally. I mean, maybe the Bills offensively looking that bad was surprising, but as far as results, pretty much what I saw coming. Not surprised.
I would say the only thing that I was thrown off by was how bad the Bills were. I can't remember who said it on the show, but one of you guys said that the Bills defense they don't pass rush at all.
That was me. Yeah.
And the fact that Von Miller's missing, but I never thought Von Miller was that great at the age he's at, but apparently he made a massive difference for them because they never touched Joe Burrow. Never.
It's a combination of missing your best pass rusher, not really having a secondary pass rusher, and then being on your 10th safety. Their entire, I don't know how many safeties they went through. 2 of them got injured yesterday.
Oh, dude, when they crashed into each other. I mean, they hit each other helmet to helmet.
Man.
There's no
Damar Hamlin
hit your
filling
teammate.
in, and Damar Hamlin was filling in for a safety.
Right.
So I just think the combination, it was a perfect storm for the Bengals, a perfect matchup, in my opinion, offense to defense on that side of the ball. The Bills don't present any sort of threat to an offensive line.
And by the way, an offensive line that everybody knew the storyline going in, and they talked about it all weekend. Dude, you're missing 3 starters. When any offensive line in the NFL is missing 3 starters, a defense should feast,
Yes.
in theory.
In theory, but if your defense is already hurt, then it's kind of like they're hurt too. So to me, though, on that game, how you only score 10 points when you
Ugh.
constantly your fan base is like, come to Buffalo. You don't want to play in the snow. You don't want to play in front of Bills Mafia. You don't want this smoke. And to go out there and score 10 points at home in the weather that you
In the
always
snow,
say you want.
right. This is our home. This is why we have to have you come to our place because you can't play here like we can. And Cincinnati's like, actually, we can.
Yeah.
No
Actually,
problem.
Cincinnati's actually built better for the snow because they have a run game. The Bills do not. They refuse to like, harvest a run game. They don't even like to give Singletary or Cook the ball, and it's just Josh Allen can only do so much, I guess. But he didn't play well either. But
No.
And
I'm just talking about
over the week-
specifically in the run game. Like Josh Allen can only give you so many rush yards. You got to have some sort of threat on the ground, and they had nothing. Nothing.
Here's the weekend thing I take away that I'm now this guy and I whatever. No more snow games. No more snow games.
Why? Well, how did the
I
snow
don't
hurt?
want
How
it
did this,
anymore.
But how did the snow hurt the game? In fact, if anything, as a television viewer, I found it to be very entertaining. What is the issue with the snow game?
See, I didn't. This isn't 1975 football. This isn't guys like smashing into each other. These aren't defensively driven games. The NFL now is about peak speed, athleticism. It's about skill now. It's not about guys knocking each other's brains out. It's not about that anymore. But did that look skillful to you, that Buffalo game? No. No, it didn't.
Side it did.
It not necessarily because they were just throwing short passes. Like to me, watching that game, I don't feel like I saw the best game from both those teams. I saw Cincinnati be better, a lot better than Buffalo. But I don't feel like I saw skill. I saw one team.
Let me ask you a question. If hypothetically, Buffalo built a dome and the game were inside, perfect conditions, right? How different is the game?
I think Cincinnati still wins because I think Cincinnati's better than them. I don't think Buffalo's better. I think Cincinnati is better. But the fact that we did not get to see the height of what Stephon Diggs can do at a game like that, the fact that we didn't get to see more skill from both sides of the football, I thought that the game did a disservice, man. I really
disagree
did.
with you. I genuinely don't disagree with you. I just don't think yesterday was a perfect example of your argument. I don't
And that
think
may
the
be
snow
true.
really affected the game very much yesterday.
Yeah, like
because
I
it
will
wasn't
say
a
this,
cold. It wasn't
but-
like a cold, freezing day. It
Not
just
only
happened to be
that,
snowing a lot.
But not only that, but like one thing, if that weather were happening in Kansas City and you're playing on a natural grass field and the field becomes smush, like just mud everywhere, no one can get footing, and you go, God, these guys are slipping and sliding all over the place. And this sucks. But I thought one thing that stood out to me in that game yesterday was with all that snow on the ground, that field. And I know it's an artificial surface, but it held up. Guys, I didn't see guys slipping and sliding everywhere, is all I'm saying.
Nope.
But guys,
I didn't hear any complaints about footing or fielding, nothing.
But a lot of guys don't like to play on artificial turf. So as well as it held up, it was probably designed to hold up in that kind of snow where natural grass, it's just grass. So for me, I'm tired of that. Because again, I watched the first game of the year. The Bears are not better than the 49ers. And it's not even close. And the Bears manhandled them because it was a torrential downpour. Like, that's not good football. Nobody wants to see that. And there's been a couple of games this year in weather where I was like, oh, this game sucks.
But you know
like,
what?
What's happening here?
But so you're going back to week one. I remember the Bears slipping and sliding during, and that was against the 49ers, right?
Week one.
Week one. Okay, now think about this because we're talking about
2 years ago.
Right, we're talking about the Bills, okay? Does anybody remember who the Bills played in week one this year?
Nope.
Ooh.
Alex, I'm surprised. You're usually pretty good at this stuff. I wouldn't have remembered.
As soon as you say it, I'll remember. But
okay,
not
so
at the top of
here,
my
I
head.
just want to say this: in week one of the
Chiefs?
NFL season, who?
Chiefs?
No. I'm going to remind you of this.
Okay.
In week one of the NFL season, the Bills were crowned. If you want to crown their ass, then crown their ass. The Bills were crowned in week one. They played on the opening night, Thursday night in LA
against the Chiefs.
against the Rams. Against the
Oh,
Rams.
yeah.
So think about it. The Bills, one of the favorites from the AFC. In fact, at the time, I think the Bills were actually the favorites to win the Super Bowl. The Bills come to LA. They're playing the defending Super Bowl champions. All the hoopla around, the defending Super Bowl champs opening the season, and the Bills beat up on the Rams. And I don't remember all the details of the game, but I remember after the game, people going, "That's the best team in football." I'm like, dude, that's game one. No, not week one. That's game one.
Game one.
The Bills were crowned in week one. And then, of course, later in the season, the story of Damar Hamlin and his recovery and the emotion and so on. You thought the Bills had it. But the one thing, for as much as Josh Allen has become a star, and there's TV commercials with him now, and again, he was crowned. People were going, Mahomes, Allen. And maybe it's not that distant between the two of them. Now, I would say people pretty much probably look at Patrick Mahomes and then Joe Burrow and then Josh Allen and then down the line. I think Joe Burrow has surpassed Josh Allen reputation-wise.
I think that going forward, you're looking at when you're putting a benchmark on what team you're looking at to surpass an AFC, it's those two teams. It's the Chiefs and the Bengals. The Bengals are pretty beat up during the season too. They lost Joe Mixon for a few weeks. They lost Jamar Chase for a few weeks. Obviously, they rebuilt that offensive line. I think Joe Burrow, did he break Derek Carr or David Carr's sack record last year? I feel like he was sacked like 80 times.
I think he did, yeah.
I just think there's so much hype around Josh Allen because of, his style of play is a lot more exciting than Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow is very traditional in the pocket, makes plays. But, if you talk about week one, Scott, just looking at it, this is the Bills' problem. Who was the leading rusher that game? Josh Allen.
Josh Allen.
Yeah. 2 picks that game. That's the story of the Bills.
Yeah. So, it still was a great weekend. I mean, it really was. The surprise, I'm with you, is that Buffalo only scores 10 points. I will tell you this. I've probably never been more interested, even as a former kicker. I've probably never been more interested in an extra point than when Dallas scored their touchdown yesterday and Brett Maher comes out to kick this extra point. And dude, he lines up and he missed 4 out of 5 last week. Missed his first 4, finally made the last one, and everybody hugged it out. And they went out and signed another guy this past week. And Maher's going to be the guy. And you see Jerry Jones before the game. We'll get into all this as the day goes on. And what the 49er players did before the game, you talk about unprofessional nonsense. I'll get to all of it. But when Maher comes out to kick that first PAT after Dallas scores, bro, he lines up. And I'm telling these dudes I'm watching the game with, I'm like, this thing's going left. Get ready. This thing's missing left. He hit that ball. If that ball does not get blocked, trust me when I tell you, the block helped him.
That's what Jimmy Johnson said.
Oh, really?
Yeah, at halftime, Jimmy Johnson.
That ball was clearly not going in.
Dude, that ball was going far left.
Mm-hmm.
That ball was going far left. And I think I told you guys a story last week. It's hard to know what a guy is going through when he misses 4 kicks in a game. Been there, sadly. Hate to brag. Yeah, been there. Missed 4 kicks in a game. The following week, the next week, I got this in my mind. I freaking missed 4 field goals in one game. Oh my God. I had to battle all week long to get my job back. I win the job, the competition that week. We're playing against the University of Maryland. They're no good, right?
Them Terps.
Dude, I go out there for a short field goal. I'm talking like 25, 30 yards, whatever it is. It gets blocked. Now I've missed 5 in a row. I've missed 5 in a row. And by the way, thank goodness it got blocked because it might have missed. Later in that game, came back and hit a field goal that actually put us up to where they couldn't come back and beat us. It was like one of those, like we may have been up by 6 and we kicked the field goal and we went up by 9 and that was going to do it for the game. But that feeling of I've missed 4, and he knows, Brett Maher knows that kick yesterday, that thing was going left. So I've never been so excited for a kick. And then the guys I was watching the game with, we were like rooting for him. Were you guys like rooting for Maher to keep missing, or were you rooting for him to make them?
I wasn't rooting for anything.
Oh, really?
No,
I was actually rooting for him.
I didn't care. I thought he'd be fine, and he was fine. He got the kick blocked, but then he scored the rest of the field goals. So
yeah,
I just think that, like I said last week, does Brett Maher curse when Dak Prescott has a stinker of a game? And then it actually happened where, wait, is Brett Maher on the sideline? Like no one's
throwing his
checking
helmet.
no one's looking at his reactions when Dak was trying to throw the game away all game long. Yeah. I honestly,
I can't wait till we get to that, man.
I personally found that game to be so entertaining.
Yeah.
Like so entertaining. I don't know if it's because I was rooting so hard against the Niners because of personal reasons, but I just found that game to be so fun to watch, even though it was a very kind of ugly, low-scoring game. And I'm telling you what, I know we got plenty of time to talk about it, but them Niners ain't that good, dude.
What?
They ain't that good, dude.
No.
Dude,
we're gonna have to get to that.
Yeah,
I totally disagree.
That's later.
I totally disagree.
I think, I don't know if the Eagles can present the same pass rush as Lawrence and Parsons,
and there you go.
But they have a very good defense as well. Brock's gonna have to make plays.
Well, we're gonna have a long time here this afternoon to get into all this stuff. Same thing goes on the other side, Cincinnati and Kansas City, because while Buffalo's pass rush was not impressive, now you've got this beat up Cincinnati offensive line. Who knows if they get any bodies back? But you're going up against a really good, tough defensive front of Kansas City. But on the other hand, Tony Romo, I saw him getting ripped yesterday all over Twitter. He's like, hey, there's no guarantee Patrick Mahomes will play. Now, look, he kind of said, he goes, I suspect he'll play. But Patrick Mahomes, what happened to him yesterday? I mean, it looked really, really bad. I credit Patrick Mahomes for toughing it out. I'm sure he went back into the locker room when he did and got it all shot up. And, they probably eased the pain. But by Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of this upcoming week, as Romo pointed out, given the injury, he's like, it's going to get worse, way worse, and then he's going to be in a boot all week and he's probably not going to get a chance to practice very much. Or at least that was what Romo was saying based on having the same injury. So Patrick Mahomes not being 100% on one side and the Chiefs defensive front against the Bengals, that makes that an interesting matchup come this Sunday. I don't know, man. Can Cincinnati really go to Kansas City 2 years in a row and win the AFC Championship game? Can that happen?
We'll find out. I don't think they can.
But you're a bit of Bengals haters for 3 years now.
Right. You told us Joe Burrow was a bust.
True. Facts. Facts.
You said Joe Burrow was a bust,
facts.
dog.
Even though Jamar Chase is there, you still
front.
hate the Bengals for some reason.
Don't front.
I'm not gonna front.
Don't front.
I'm not gonna front.
So
this ain't last year's Chiefs team, though.
Andy Reid already said Mahomes going to play.
Yeah, of course he's going to play.
Yeah, of course
they'll play him with crutches if they have to. They don't care. They play in a
Chad
boot.
Henne looked good.
Anybody
else freak out? It was Chad Henne. Anybody else freak out that was the backup still? I was like, Chad Henne.
15 years. 15 years.
Chad Henne.
Right.
It's who you get behind. It's who you get behind. He's behind the right guy now. He might do 20 years.
Right.
Yeah, that's the best job in football, man.
It is.
Man.
So the weekend ended yesterday with Dallas, San Francisco, and it was a great game, entertaining game. I'm with you, Alex. The weekend began on Friday night. Can I just ask everybody a quick question? I know it was Friday and today's Monday, but can I just ask everybody a question? How is it that a woman can sit in the front row of an NBA basketball game, say something to an NBA player, and literally be tossed from the arena just for what she said? But my man Shannon Sharp could be there front row, nearly get into a fight with the opposing team. He ain't on the team. He's just a fan. And not get kicked out of an NBA game. Now, don't get me wrong. I love Shannon Sharp. I think he's hilarious. I do. I think Shannon Sharp is freaking hysterical. And I love that Shannon Sharp is the LeBron defender on his show because Skip is the LeBron hater and LeBron got his back and there's Shannon sitting front row at Laker games. But people get kicked out of NBA games for saying mean things to the players. Shannon Sharp almost started a brawl on the floor. And at halftime, they were like, yo, bro, chill out. He they don't want that smoke. You know how he talks. He's funny as hell. They don't want that smoke. And goes right back to his seat. What is that? I don't want to, Browner, you said you're that guy. I'm not usually that guy.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was hilarious. Mm-hmm. But on the other hand, how is it he don't get kicked out?
How do you go? Because then if you kick him out, Bron gonna get you fired.
Oh, dude.
He there for Bron. He there a pom for Bron.
Right.
That's why he got into it with Dylan Brooks.
If they would have kicked him out, Bron would have been like, oh, hell no. No, he's staying. But LeBron, he almost started a big fight with the other team. Doesn't matter. He's with me.
Correct.
So you kick Karen out for saying something mean to you. But
she got to go.
But Shannon Sharp can almost start a fight with the other team, and he's fine. Dude, that was hilarious. That was freaking hilarious. I loved it. Shannon Sharp, that is funny.
That was a GOAT move right there. That was a GOAT move. You ain't throwing Shannon out.
That's a Hall of Fame move right there. Alex, you see this or did you not see it?
I saw it. I just don't care. Like I saw it, I was like, so stupid. Like, oh, another promotion for Undisputed. Well done.
I know, dude. Well, I mean, I got to give these guys credit. What they do to promote this show it's truly amazing. All right,
nothing to do with the show.
All right, we'll
get there. Show.
All right, we'll get there. We're just getting rolling. We're in the 7 Mile Casino Studios, 7milecasino.com, just getting going here on a Monday afternoon. This is Kaplan and Crew.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew Tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 AM, ESPN Radio, and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal. Dominating the SoCal radio airwaves for over 20 years. Join Scott Kaplan, Alex Padilla, and John Browner for Kaplan and Crew every Monday through Friday, 3 to 6 p.m. only on the mightier 1090 ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk, and the mightier1090.com.
At Shelter to Soldier, being a private nonprofit, we rely on the community. Thankfully, we have sponsors like the Barnes firm that get behind us.
We understand the difficulties that many of our veterans face when they come back into civilian life. And this program just seemed like the perfect fit.
Today, we're catching up with Barney. He is now in our matching phase of our program. He is meeting eligible veterans in what we call speed dating.
How's it going?
So we have just recently approved 5 new veterans for our program. So Barney will be meeting every single one of them to see if he is the perfect match for them.
Barney's perfect date would be a nice long walk on the beach, and then he would like to end the night with a nice dinner with his veteran.
We got to find the right person for the right dog.
When someone you know has COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, things can progress very quickly, making them feel hopeless. But it doesn't have to be like this.
See, Mom, this place is going to be great for you. They're going to help you breathe better.
Pulmonary rehabilitation at La Mesa Rehab focuses on patient education and training. We use special therapies to improve your lungs, clear out mucus, and keep you out of the hospital. Pulmonary rehab is Medicare approved. Call now to see if you qualify or ask your doctor about La Mesa Rehab today.
Since 1975, San Diegans have trusted the Murray-Lampert family for their home remodeling projects. We continue our commitment to deliver high-quality home remodeling and construction to our customers without an expensive showroom.
When you're adding companion units or ADUs to bring value to your home, our team has the experience to handle everything. Plus, our strong relationships with the city makes adding on easier for homeowners.
Visit murraylampert.com for your consultation.
Surf Soccer has been around for over 30 years. We're based here in San Diego, but we are the premier national youth sports brand in soccer. Our mission is to create experiences and opportunities for kids, and we do that here mostly in San Diego with our 1,000 kids, but we also do it through our events where we really help kids chase their dreams.
PNC Bank's sponsorship helps the kids here. One, it is to continue to help fund facilities like this where the kids can come play soccer. 2, it is really through our scholarship program. There are a lot of kids in San Diego that have incredible levels of talent, but they can't afford to play on a team like Surf. And so a lot of our sponsorship dollars go back into scholarships to give an opportunity for kids who are low to moderate income to play on one of the elite teams in the U.S.
Having a partner like PNC who is community oriented and cares about the development of youth in the community is amazing because our missions are completely aligned and we're both driven by helping develop kids, and in this case through sport in San Diego.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew Tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 AM, ESPN Radio, and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal. Listen to the Mike Greenberg Show, 7 to 9 a.m. Pacific, Monday through Friday. Greeny brings his unmatched depth of sports knowledge, fun, and entertainment back to ESPN on a daily basis. The Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk, and the Mightier1090.com. We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew Show on the Mightier 1090 AM, ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk.
Hey, everybody, it's Scott Kaplan from Kaplan and Crew. And with me right now is Rick Slider. He's the CEO of MedCline, which, by the way, is a pillow that is going to change your life. You have no idea what I'm talking about, but I'm telling you right now. Rick, how you doing, man? Where do we find you today?
Scott, great to talk to you. I'm in sunny San Diego, a place you're pretty familiar with.
Yeah, I'm glad it's sunny out. I see the Padres stuff right over your head. That looks pretty cool. And some Beastie Boys. You got some cool stuff behind you.
We had a different sports team up on the wall for a while that had to be taken down, say half dozen years ago. But the Padres still flies prominently on the wall.
I love it, man. Hey, if you could, while we have this time together, can you tell everybody the backstory of MedCline and how you guys have become such a big San Diego company selling all over the world, and what the deal is with the MedCline systems?
Sure. MedCline started here in San Diego, started by a radiologist whose primary practice was at UCSD. And he was a longtime sufferer of heartburn and acid reflux. Tried everything, tried diet changes, was taking medication, proton pump inhibitors or PPIs that a lot of people take. But he was looking for a natural way to reduce his heartburn symptoms. And he found through trial and error that when he slept in an incline and when he slept on his side, his heartburn and acid reflux symptoms would dissipate. Because he's a doctor, he wanted to make sure that this just wasn't by chance. And so he set up some clinical studies using a system that he designed and patented. We got clinical trial results, found that there was a strong reduction in the esophageal acid that would take place during the night, reducing his symptoms. And with that, decided to create a product called MedCline and commercialized it a few years ago. And that is really how our company began, with his personal desire to stop his heartburn and reflux symptoms.
That's amazing. It really is amazing. Like when you have something wrong, you're like, I'm going to fix this problem. But you know what's amazing to me is that acid reflux is a problem that obviously a lot of people have. But for me, I have shoulder pain, chronic shoulder pain from the way I sleep, because I sleep with my arm over my head and then my pillow in between. So when I got my first MedCline, I didn't realize there's the reflux relief pillow, but there's the shoulder relief pillow. And it's completely changed everything for me. My shoulder pain has gone so far down because I'm no longer sleeping like this. I'm like underneath. And tell me about the shoulder pillow, please.
Sure. First of all, I'm so glad to hear that it's working for you. That's fantastic. Secondly, as we brought MedCline to the marketplace, we found that there were a number of individuals that benefited from therapeutic side sleeping beyond just those suffering from heartburn or GERD. And the primary use is for shoulder pain. And the reason I think people like you have been so comfortable with the MedCline is because of our patented arm pocket. When you try and sleep on your side and you have shoulder pain, you run the risk of your shoulder getting frozen, exacerbating pain that you might be feeling, whether it's due to rotator cuff, general shoulder soreness. And so our incline has a patented arm pocket that allows you to either rest comfortably on your elbow or to slide through, sounds like what you do, slide your arm through the system so you can stay at an elevation and sleep comfortably on your side throughout the night. And today, here in 2023, our shoulder product is actually our top seller. It's surpassed those that suffer from heartburn and acid reflux, simply because there's more people with shoulder injuries across the country. And we're glad that we're able to help you out.
It's awesome. Hey, we don't have a lot of time, but in the last minute, would you just tell everybody how The MedCline products, though, have gone viral, particularly on TikTok. Just give us like a 30 or 60 seconds about what has happened.
You know, I'd love to say that I'm a marketing genius here, Scott, but really it's just about excited consumers sharing the benefits they get of MedCline. And it's amazing what happens when people finally can get a good night's sleep, how they're so excited to share that information. And recently, we've always been a part of social media, but recently we've kind of found a niche within TikTok. I didn't know that healthy sleep TikTok was a subgenre, but it really is. And with a few different posts, we've seen over just in the last 30 days, over 10 million people exposed to our MedCline products. So we're excited about the virality that this has created. I think it's in part because we have a 95% customer satisfaction rate. We know we can help people get a good night's sleep. It does take a while to adjust and sleep differently. But we're excited to see kind of the viral nature of our product grow, and we're excited to help out as many customers as possible.
It's awesome. I want to encourage everybody who's watching right now, go to medcline.com, medcline.com. Look at the different products. Know you're supporting a San Diego company. And I encourage everybody, sleep better with our friends from MedCline.
Drivers are getting in accidents at a rate we've never seen before, jumping 18% since 2020. There are higher incidents of speeding and more aggressive driving since the pandemic began. Please slow down and drive safely. It can save a life.
At Shelter to Soldier, being a private nonprofit, we rely on the community. Thankfully, we have sponsors like the Barnes firm that get behind us.
We understand the difficulties that many of our veterans face when they come back into civilian life. And this program just seemed like the perfect fit.
Today we're catching up with Barney. He is now in our matching phase of our program. He is meeting eligible veterans in what we call speed dating.
How's it going?
So we have just recently approved 5 new veterans for our program. So Barney will be meeting every single one of them to see if he is the perfect match for them.
Barney's perfect date would be a nice long walk on the beach, and then he would like to end the night with a nice dinner with his veteran.
We got to find the right person for the right dog.
From fitness to medical technology, explore how people are leading healthier lives on Your Health. Join Erica Cardenas as she introduces you to health experts and discover how our daily choices affect our well-being. Plus, learn simple tips for healthier living. Your Health, Sunday at 4:30 p.m. on YourView and YourView.com. Brought to you by La Mesa Rehab, improving the lives of those with all types of lung disease and long COVID symptoms.
Surf soccer has been around for over 30 years. We're based here in San Diego, but we are the premier national youth sports brand in soccer. Our mission is to create experiences and opportunities for kids, and we do that here mostly in San Diego with our 1,000 kids, but we also do it through our events where we really help kids chase their dreams.
PNC Bank's sponsorship helps the kids here. One, it is to continue to help fund facilities like this where the kids can come play soccer. Two, it is really through our scholarship program. There are a lot of kids in San Diego that have incredible levels of talent, but they can't afford to play on a team like Surf. And so a lot of our sponsorship dollars go back into scholarships to give an opportunity for kids who are low to moderate income to play on one of the elite teams in the U.S.
Having a partner like PNC who is community oriented and cares about the development of youth in the community is amazing, because our missions are completely aligned and we're both driven by helping develop kids, and in this case through sport, in San Diego.
At the Barnes firm, we're seeing more pedestrian and bicycle accidents. Drivers are rolling through red lights, and distracted driving makes every intersection a danger zone for pedestrians. Look both ways when crossing, even if you have the right of way.
Welcome back. This is Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio. SoCal Sports Talk. Here's Scott Kaplan, John Browner, and Alex Padilla.
All right, great friends. Hey, we are in the 7 Mile Casino Studios. 7milecasino.com is the website. It's just 7 minutes south of downtown San Diego. And if you're looking to play blackjack, poker, pie gow, table games, and you've got Sammy's Restaurant and Bar, which is Sammy's Woodfire Pizza right across the way, in a smoke-free environment. And again, just 7 minutes south of downtown San Diego, 7 Mile Casino is the place to go. So listen, we're just getting started. Grande, Brown Man, we kind of gave some opening thoughts of the NFL divisional weekend. Guys, I suggest we go in order. Let's take these games on one by one and go in order from where things started on Saturday between Jacksonville and Kansas City. We'll move into the Saturday evening, the Giants and the Eagles, and then we'll move on to what happened yesterday on Sunday. How's that sound? Does that sound like a decent game plan here?
So far.
Yes, makes sense.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
By the way, how great was it this weekend that the rain stopped? I mean, it was chilly, but it was like brisk, sunny, chilly. Did you guys? I hope you guys got out and enjoyed it because, man, the tide at the beaches was crazy. Like the amount of sand that is no longer on the beach. And then when it was super low tide and you could walk way out and you could like see what's underneath. I don't know. I hope you guys got out and enjoyed because I was out there all weekend long.
Like me and Browner have told you, we go outside and enjoy outside, but ain't no way I'm going near the ocean right now. It's
Yeah,
too
fam.
unpredictable.
No, I'm
You
good.
talk about sand, and I seen these homes in Malibu where they're like missing like 10 feet of sand, and those houses are about to fall on the beach. I
Yeah.
don't mess with the beach, bro. I don't. Just listen. When it goes back to normal, then you'll catch me on the boardwalk.
Right.
Pretty much done with beaches, to be honest with you, especially here in California. We were down in Mexico, where like it's clear and I could see what's under me, but these beaches in California, I don't mess with them, dude.
Not
It's
messing
not my
with them,
thing.
huh?
I'm
Tell you-
becoming more and more anti-beach and ocean.
Really?
It's just it's unpredictable.
Yeah.
It's too much water. It's too much water.
It's unpredictable.
Dude, you guys have
Too
no
much
idea.
water.
Dude, I'm not joking around. Like
that's
places that I walked from Encinitas down to Solana Beach at low tide, and I was able to walk out like 100 yards where it's normally covered in water. And I'm like, look what is underneath here. And there's no sand at all. Like no sand. In fact, there were these bluffs at Black's Beach in La Jolla that there's video. I got to show you guys this video. I'll show it to you on Instagram. The bluffs coming down, dude. Coming
I
down.
saw it.
Oh, you did see that?
And you go over there. This is exactly what I'm talking about, dude. You're going over there to watch that? That could be you standing on that bluff.
Correct.
I don't go there to watch it. I usually walk there. And I like walking on the beach. But like I'm telling you, this past weekend from Encinitas down to Solana Beach, there's no sand. It's just all rocks. And then there's these places where I'm like, I've never been here before and not seen like sand on the beach. The water, I don't really understand, comes in, pulls it out. I mean, there's just no sand. None. Yesterday, I went to go watch the games at a buddy of mine's place down in Mission Beach, and he's right on the boardwalk. Dude, the boardwalk, people were trying to rollerblade down the boardwalk. They can't move. They're in sand. The sand has gone from the beach over the seawall, and there's like a 2-inch deep sand on the boardwalk in PB and Mission Beach. So I got a lot of that this weekend. You're not having any of this beach. You guys are staying urban. You guys are going North Park. You guys are staying away from the sand, huh?
Let me tell you, fam, can't do it. I not because it's too unpredictable. Because I mean, this ain't like some disaster movie. You can see the water coming and move, but
sometimes not fast enough.
Fair. Sand can really trip you up. I just, unless it's like 70 or 80, you ain't getting me nowhere near that water. For what? For what? I mean, at most, I'm gonna put my feet in there. Outside of that, bro, you ain't finna get me out. No, it got to be
bro.
real, real hot.
No, fam. Mm-mm.
It got to
All
be
right, by the
vacation
way,
hot for me to get near the beach.
I'm feeling you. Hey, by the way, one other quick little note here, just as we'll get to some football games. Saw another movie this weekend. Can't believe I actually watched another movie this weekend. I've seen The Fabelmans. I've seen that Otto thing. And this weekend, but not in a movie theater, but on HBO Max, I saw that Elvis movie. Of
Why?
anybody here? Why? I don't know.
He told you it was terrible.
No, I liked it. Who told me it was terrible? Did you see it?
Alex did. Alex
Alex,
saw. He told you it was terrible.
Alex, you saw Elvis on HBO Max?
It's one of the worst movies of 2022.
There you
on,
go.
why?
See? Give it a
Come on,
Razzie.
why?
Yeah.
Come on, why they edited it like it was like that? Remember that? What was that movie? The Great Gatsby, the weird edited Leonardo DiCaprio movie. It was edited like that. Tom Hanks did some sort of accent. Don't know what that was.
Okay.
He was in it way too much, even though I know he was a narrator and it was based off something like that. But no, it was bad.
You know what?
Really bad.
Of the 3 movies I've recently seen, and I'm not usually a movie guy, between The Fabelmans, this Otto thing that Tom Hanks is in, and now Elvis. Of the three of the movies that I've seen in the last 2 weeks, Elvis is the favorite of the three.
Why?
I don't know. Liked it. I didn't. A lot of things about Elvis I didn't know.
You a big Elvis guy?
No, not at all.
Did
But
they
then
put
I watched this on Saturday night.
He married a 13-year-old?
Wait, what?
Did they put in there he married a 13-year-old? Was that
No,
in
I
the movie?
didn't. No, and Priscilla Presley was not 13 when they got married, as far as I know.
Okay, look into it.
Okay, I will. I'm not really going to look into anything.
People go after R. Kelly all the time. So
well, I don't, because
if Elvis is cool, then okay.
All right. Well, I don't know anything about what you're talking about.
What are we talking about now?
We're talking about the game. We're talking about Jacksonville versus Kansas City. So let's start off with this.
I heard R. Kelly. I thought we were talking about Elvis.
Yeah,
we
Elvis, R. Kelly. Now we're talking football because we're like that.
They're like underage girls.
I don't know anything about what you're talking about. I don't. And I don't care. I'm not going to look it up. I'm not looking into R. Kelly. I'm not looking into Jerry Lee Lewis. I'm not looking into Elvis. I'm not looking into any of this nonsense. Okay. I just saw
all he did was bring up the fact that he watched a movie. I watched a movie too, Scott.
Yeah. What'd you say?
I don't know what Brown was going to bring up the fact that I said I watched Jurassic World Dominion.
That was a good one. That was a good movie. That's the last one, yeah?
Yeah. If I would have seen that movie in the theaters, I think I would have been upset. But the fact that I watched it at home and was like on my phone during it, I was fine.
Yeah.
I thought it was solid. I saw it in the theater. I thought it was solid.
Really, Brown? You like that? You know, Tyrannosaurus Rex once married a 13-year-old. You know that?
Well, if she was a 13-year-old T-Rex, I'm pretty sure in dinosaur years that probably lined up.
Nah, man. Nah, fam.
I also went to the
sure
Jurassic World. I also went to the
I'm gonna do
Jurassic
some
World
research.
thingy in Mission Valley.
Why?
My mom has kids that are very. My mom's a teacher, and all her kindergarten, preschool kids are very into dinosaurs right now.
Yeah, she
My
bring
mom
them
was
with
in
her?
town.
Mhm.
No, she took a bunch of videos and stuff for them. So
How
we
was
went. It was like, okay, it was like too expensive for what it is, but it was actually pretty cool.
What is it? What are we talking about?
So it's this Jurassic World exhibit in Mission Valley, literally where the old tilted kilt was.
Mm-hmm.
And it's this huge tent. And I was like, I have no idea what to expect. I didn't look any of it up. But you walk in and they've like hired actors and you literally get guided through like a fake Jurassic World.
Mm-hmm.
Like you go in, it's like the Jurassic World sign. There's a freaking, dinosaur there, and then you kind of walk through the movie. They pretend like you're good, like a dinosaur got loose, a T-Rex got loose. That was pretty cool. I was like, if you have kids, that's probably dope.
How much?
It's like $35 a person.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
Say what?
That's beyond me. I ain't
Yeah.
doing that. I'm out on that.
So it was a
man.
Jurassic World night. Guy came home and I was like, I haven't seen the new movie. My mom's like, yeah, me neither. So we watched it.
I started a new series last night called White Lotus. Anybody ever seen White Lotus?
Done with both seasons.
Okay. Somebody suggested, and somebody told me it's the best show they've ever seen. Like it's their favorite series of all time. So I'm like, all right, I got to try it out. So I watched episode 1 last night. I'm one episode in.
Season 1?
Episode 1, season 1.
Okay.
Okay. You know where I'm at?
No, but I liked the show a lot. I mean, I watched season 2.
Okay.
What happens in this show? Is it?
I don't
a
know
mystery?
if it's like the best show of all time.
Yeah. I'm
Because I
telling
feel
you it
like
is.
you don't really know what's going on until it's over.
Yeah.
It's one of those shows.
Oh.
Like literally, it's like a 10-hour movie. You're like, what's going on? And then that's why season 2 came out, and I was like, okay, I will wait till this is done because ain't no way I'm gonna binge or watch this week to week.
Well, I'm going to start watching it. So I watched episode 1 last night. Me and my daughter, Julia. Tonight, we're going to watch episode 2. She's already through like something called like Emily in Paris or something.
That's very popular with girls. They love Emily in Paris.
Yeah. That, and they love New Girl.
New Girl's great.
Yeah. All right. Let me do this. I knew this was going to happen. We can never just like focus, It's my fault.
Okay,
It's me.
but whose fault is that?
It's me.
Come
It's
on.
definitely me.
Did you guys
100%
go
me.
outside? Did you guys go to the beach? Oh, guess what I did? I watched another movie.
Yeah.
Mhm.
it's
That
my
wasn't me
fault.
and Browner.
No, it's my fault. 100%.
I did
my
none of
fault.
that.
100%
Yeah.
my fault.
I didn't bring up Elvis.
No.
Yeah,
I
you
know.
brought up R. Kelly.
Yeah.
I
Right.
did. In defense. Defense. Yes,
All
I
right.
did.
We are in the 7 Mile Casino studios, 7milecasino.com. And let's jump right in. I think the story of game 1 of Saturday between Kansas City and Jacksonville. And we talked about this last week. Like if you were going to sacrifice one day or the other, which one would it be? I was willing to sacrifice Saturday to have all day Sunday. In other words, if you have a girlfriend or a wife and you say to your girlfriend or your wife, hey, I want to watch football all day Saturday and all day Sunday. And she says, no, I'm not having that. Pick a day. I picked Sunday over Saturday. But I couldn't help myself because I'm a junkie like that. And I had to see what was going on between Kansas City and Jacksonville. And I was really surprised in the early part of the game that Mahomes went out. And if you watch the video of the injury, and we'll show it to everybody who's watching, we'll describe it for everybody who's listening. I mean, it looks bad. It really, really looks bad. Alex, if you could roll the video of Mahomes getting sacked and rolled up on, and watch his right ankle. Let's see if we can take a look at this video right here. What are you looking at, dude?
I'm trying to find the video.
Oh, you are? Oh, you're trying to find. I'm looking right at it.
No, you are.
Hey, did anybody go outside this weekend? Anybody seen Elvis?
See the tide?
Where did the video go?
No.
This is a great start to the day. Where did it go?
Anybody know R. Kelly's story?
Hey, man.
Jerry
Which
Lee
one?
Lewis?
What was that?
Mick Jagger?
What was that accent Tom Hanks was doing? Anybody want to tell me?
I don't know. I didn't. I
Okay,
never.
here you go.
I think. All right, here. Let's take a look. All right. So here's Mahomes, and look at his right ankle. Look, watch his right leg. He
And his
plants it
knee.
into the ground, and then the defender's knee comes down like above his ankle. One more time, Alex. Above his ankle, but below his knee, and he's got two dudes all over him, and his right ankle is like crushed underneath, but then his knee and then his neck. I mean, it looked bad. It looked really bad. And here's the thing. If Chad Henne comes into that game and has to play the rest of the way, could the Chiefs have found a way to win that game, to win with Chad Henne? I think they could. I do. But where are they going beyond this week? Because Patrick Mahomes is the Kansas City Chiefs. And I didn't even realize this until you start to hear these kinds of things. Patrick Mahomes has been the starter for 5 years. They've been to the AFC Championship 5 times. They've won the division every year. So when we think about other quarterbacks, I don't care who it is, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow. Hey, look, Joe Burrow's got a chance to go back to his second straight Super Bowl. If Joe Burrow does that, there haven't been that many guys that have been able to do that. So
Joe Burrow, same thing, started 2 years, 2 AFC championships.
yeah, I mean, it's damn impressive. I mean, for a guy who came into the league and got hurt right away to have 2 healthy seasons and both of them be in the AFC Championship, when, by the way, look, the Kansas City Chiefs had some bad years, particularly when the Chargers were really good. But the Cincinnati Bengals have always been a complete laughingstock bottom feeder. It just kind of goes to show you, at least in my opinion, a great quarterback makes a coach.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Because here's the thing. Joe Burrow, 3 years into his career, 2 years into playing, he's a great young quarterback. And his coach before he got there,
Zach Taylor.
nothing. He was a kid coach who went from quarterback coach to head coach. And in his first year, they're trash. They're the Bengals. Then they get Joe Burrow and everything changes. Let me say that. When they get Joe Burrow and he's healthy, everything changes. So now everybody thinks that coach is a really good coach. He may be. But the same goes for a guy like Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy was a really good coach when he had Aaron Rodgers in his prime, and now he's got Dak Prescott, and people think Dak's not that good, and Mike McCarthy ain't that good. But a great
It also goes to my
quarterback-
point, when you hire an offensive-minded head coach, that it lines up with having a good quarterback at the same time. That's the way to approach it. You don't think Josh Allen missed Brian Daboll this year? He reverted back to, he had the most turnovers of his career, I think, this year. Because his head coach is a defensive guy. They had to bring in this dude, Ken Dorsey, that flipped out week 2 or 3. That was the most famous thing he did all year. So when you have this young offensive-minded head coach, look at the Final 4 teams. They all have offensive-minded head coaches, and 3 of the 4 guys call their own plays.
Mm-hmm.
That Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes partnership, Andy Reid was a great coach in Philadelphia. I mean, he didn't win a Super Bowl, but he was a great coach there. And now he's got the best quarterback in the NFL with one of the best, if not the best, offensive minds in the NFL. They're there for a reason every single year.
But
it's the modern day NFL.
He also had Donovan McNabb. Like, if you go through these coaches, their history is littered with fantastic quarterbacks. The only one that you can even begin to utter is Brian Billick. That is the only one. And Brian Billick had, if not the greatest, one of the greatest defenses of all time. So same thing for Mike Ditka. Like, that's how far you got to go back to see a team win a Super Bowl with no quarterback. So for me, I think it's been that way for a very long time. We've been giving coaches way too much credit, way too long, because without the partnership, it never works out.
Yeah, I
It
mean, I'm
never
just trying
works
to,
out.
like, I mean, you think
100%.
about Pete Carroll and Russell Wilson in the early
Yep.
part, you know. You think about, again, Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, 5 straight years they're playing in the
5.
AFC Championship game. 5 straight years they've won the division. I mean, what makes the Raiders or the Chargers or the Broncos think, well, we're this close to those guys? I mean, they got the best coach and they got the best quarterback by far. And listen, Justin Herbert, as good as a young quarterback as he is not Patrick Mahomes, and he doesn't have Andy Reid, and he doesn't have the consistency of the Chiefs organization and their coaching staff. And I mean, there's no team in the AFC West that currently poses a threat to win the division.
Yeah.
Because when you consider coach quarterback combination, Kansas City completely outclasses every other team in the division.
And to Browner's point, Andy Reid was winning the division with Alex Smith, but never got as
Correct.
far, obviously, as he got with Mahomes. Like, he made Alex Smith a Pro Bowl quarterback 2 of the 4 or 5 years he was there, but
Correct.
he never. And obviously, they drafted Mahomes in the first round for a reason. And then let's not forget, when Mahomes was drafted in the first round, it wasn't like the Chiefs were getting praised as getting the next Andrew Luck at the time. At the time, it's like, what are they doing?
They were getting
Like,
crushed.
what they were getting crushed. Like, what? You have Alex Smith, you have the success, you're winning the division every year. Why would you waste the first round pick on this Mahomes kid who went to Texas Tech? He wasn't he didn't go to this powerhouse. He broke records at Texas Tech, but let's not like revise history here. You know, Mahomes wasn't some extremely lauded, praised quarterback coming out of college.
No, but that's what I'm talking about organizationally. Their scouting department, their front office with their coaching staff, that consistency and that relationship and that scouting ability is what had the Chiefs do what they did. And obviously it's all paying off for them now. But 5 straight years that you're in the AFC Championship game, and of the 5 years, I'd have to go back and look at this. How many of these AFC Championship games have they hosted? I mean, it's got
3 in a row, I think.
So
they lost. They went to the Super Bowl. They lost to Cincinnati, and then the one before that, didn't D Ford line up on the wrong offside? Somebody lined up offsides at one point, and that cost them going to the Super Bowl. I think that was in Kansas City too.
Yeah, I'd have to go back and look it all up. But it really is amazing. I mean, I just forgot. Like, my goodness, these guys have been in the AFC Championship game every year that Mahomes and Reid have been a combination. You know, and again, I more so than ever before, I look at these guys and I go, you know, Nick Sirianni, who was he a few years ago? You know, and now you look at him, right? And now you look at him and Jalen Hurts and you go, wow, that's an amazing combination. Or even Jacksonville, who lost this game. You have a Super Bowl winning coach and you have a number 1 overall pick, a national champion, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, those guys are likely going to be good for a long time together. It's why, and I'm not there. I'm done with the story from last week, but it's why the Chargers have a good young quarterback, really, really good young quarterback. And they've got a decent middle of the road, probably over his head, young defensive coach. That ain't going to work today. That is not going to work today, not compared to what Kansas City has.
They've hosted
all 5 of these AFC Championship games.
All 5. They haven't left Kansas City in 5 years.
Wow, that is unbelievable.
Crazy.
I'm looking at it. I think I'm looking at it correctly. They have not left Kansas City in the playoffs in the last 5 years.
That is
so.
incredible.
If the Bills would have won, that would have been their first time outside of Kansas City in 5 years.
Yeah, right. If the Bills would have won,
can't be more consistent than that. It's physically impossible.
No, I mean, it is a dynasty. The only issue with this era of Chiefs football is that they only have 1 Super Bowl so far.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why. I want to take Cincinnati. I know it's only Monday, but I have a hard time believing that somebody's going to go to Kansas City and beat them, same team 2 years in a row. All right, we'll dive.
I mean,
deeper
now
into
is that ankle is the opening.
That's where it starts. We'll jump right back into it. We'll hear from Mahomes. We'll hear from Reid. We got a lot to get to here this afternoon with all of these games, and we have plenty of time to kind of stretch out. Hey, quick reminder to everybody, if you're thinking about a new car, I would suggest you go on to this website, PenskeSanDiego.com, Penske, PenskeSanDiego.com. 12 dealers, 9 brands, over 1,000 cars, all of them here on this website, PenskeSanDiego.com, which will make your life faster. It'll make your life easier. And you don't have to go to the lot and start walking around, looking around. You can go on their site, look around, decide. They'll have those cars that you're interested in waiting for you by the time you get there, so you can test drive and go, hey, I don't have to look through thousands. I can look through 3 or 4 that I was mostly interested in. The website will make your life faster and easier. Penske, Penske, PenskeSanDiego.com. All right, coming right back, not talking about the outdoors or Elvis movies or series. Let's just keep going. Chiefs, winners, 5 in a row AFC Championship games at Arrowhead. And what does Mahomes think about this ankle injury? We'll get there next from the 7 Mile Casino Studios.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew Tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 AM, ESPN Radio, and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal.
Locally owned and operated, not some bland, uninspired, corporate, cookie-cutter radio station crap. We simply say to those stations, Q. The mightier 1090 ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk.
Murray Lampert now brings architectural and interior design to a whole new level for your remodel, ADU, or whole house build. Our team starts by modeling your project in 3D based on your lifestyle goals and budget, making adjustments along the way simple and accurate.
We're always motivated to strive for excellence. There's kind of not another way to be.
We're truly a team at Murray Lampert Design, Build, Remodel, and we don't take that lightly.
Visit murraylampert.com. Our family, your home.
Hola, I'm J.R. Cardenas.
And I'm Vanessa Ramirez.
We're the hosts for Su Vida, where we showcase California restaurants, music,
art, culture, and so much more.
We would love to talk to you about featuring your business on our show.
Yes, and as an added bonus, you get to keep the professional video segment to repurpose and use on your website or social media channels.
Please click on the link below to get more information about how to put your business on Su Vida.
We hope to hear from you soon.
When you're in pain, you need physical therapy that works, but you want to feel safe during these times. At La Mesa Rehab, your health is our business. We screen each patient, provide masks, and constantly sanitize our private individual treatment areas so you can focus on healing. The foundation of our physical therapy is education. Our therapists care and guide you through the healing process. Ask your doctor about La Mesa Rehab.
The best care you can have at La Mesa Rehab.
When doors open for kids, they change lives. For over 75 years, the Boys and Girls Clubs of Greater San Diego has been opening its doors to provide a safe place for kids whenever they are out of school. A place with caring mentors and opportunities to focus on academic success, healthy lifestyles, and character building. At the club, we do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid that walks through our doors by inspiring, empowering, and changing lives.
If you're going to count yourself as a fan of this radio station, you'll need to continuously ask yourself one basic question. Am I listening enough? Pro tip, wives are not a good source for input on this. This is the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio.
When you're adding companion units or ADUs to bring more value to your home, our experience plus our strong relationship with the city makes adding on easier for our homeowners.
At Murray Lampert, we listen to you first, then design and build. Visit murraylampert.com.
At Shelter to Soldier, being a private nonprofit, we rely on the community. Thankfully, we have sponsors like the Barnes firm that get behind us.
We understand the difficulties that many of our veterans face when they come back into civilian life. And this program just seemed like the perfect fit.
Today we're catching up with Barney. He is now in our matching phase of our program. He is meeting eligible veterans in what we call speed dating.
How's it going?
So we have just recently approved 5 new veterans for our program. So Barney will be meeting every single one of them to see if he is the perfect match for them.
Barney's perfect date would be a nice long walk on the beach, and then he would like to end the night with a nice dinner with his veteran.
We got to find the right person for the right dog.
Thank you for joining us. Catch Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight from 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific every Monday through Friday. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk.
Does a new year mean new you? Stick around because...
How about no? That's too much pressure. Then we get discouraged and then we quit. How about we just be healthier?
I'm good with that. So no resolution is our resolution.
Bingo.
Today on
Sous Vida.
Okay, so like how much healthier?
Like